everybody, how's it going? Ben Gothard here, and I just have a quick question for you and a few thoughts. I hope you're doing phenomenal today. My question for you today is, do you prefer online or offline networking? Now, I'm of the belief that while online networking is incredible, it is but a means to build relationships with people, and it is only one way to start building that relationship, right? I truly think that if we are to build meaningful long-term relationships, which in the aspect of networking, I think that should be the goal, right? To build meaningful long-term relationships, then I think that going from online to offline networking or relationship building is an enormously strong and powerful way to build that relationship. Now, I want to talk about specifically in this video 5 benefits of face-to-face networking. Okay? So the first benefit of face-to-face networking is immediate and honest feedback, right? How aggravating is it when you're trying to network with somebody and you're sending emails, or you're sending text messages, or you're sending messages on Facebook, to have to wait hours or days or weeks, or maybe even you never get the chance to get feedback from somebody, right? What do they think about your ideas? What is their, what are their thoughts on the same subject? Are they being genuine with you, right? It's hard to pick up on sarcasm and different things like that online, right? And unless you're in a Skype call and you've been, talking with people pretty regularly, it's really hard to pick up on somebody's on their meaning behind their words, right? Unless you're actually in a room with them and you're having a face-to-face conversation. So as opposed to online, where it's difficult to do that, when you're in person, when you're able to speak with another human being and establish that face-to-face connection, right, and you can really get this immediate and honest feedback, then there's no hiding from it, right? If you say something and the other person doesn't like it, you're going to know about it. And yeah, it might be a little awkward when things like that happen, but it is, in my opinion, extremely important to have that honesty and to have that honest feedback immediate, right? Because if there's something if there's something that you say that this person that you're speaking with, that you're networking with, either doesn't agree with, okay, now you have something to talk about. Now there's something that you can work together on to come to a better understanding of maybe each other, or cultural differences, or there's some idea that you can talk about, you can speak about, you can learn something, okay? But unless you're able to get immediate and honest feedback, which is a lot of the times only available with face-to-face networking, it's difficult to pick that up, right? So that's the first benefit of face-to-face networking, is immediate and honest feedback. The second one, and this is something that I actually struggle with a lot, right? I struggle with this a lot. And the second one is showcasing your genuine personality, right? Now, a lot of the times we try to be professional online. We're very careful about what we put on the internet, right? But sometimes that kind of prevents us from letting our true personality shine through, right? And I do a lot of videos. I do a lot of speaking on camera, and there are parts of me that I notice don't always come through, right? Like, I'm a very high energy, optimistic, fun-loving person. And I think that that's one of the things that I struggle with when it comes to online networking, is letting that come through, right? And so, think about it in your own lives. Whenever you're on a Skype call with somebody, or you are talking with somebody over Facebook, how much of your personality comes through? Do you notice that you're a little bit different online versus offline? Because one of the things, just another example of something that's different between online and offline networking, is when you're online, things are meticulously saved, and they're pretty permanent, right? If you send a message on Facebook and somebody takes a screenshot of that, then it's there forever. So I feel like people are a little bit more guarded online, whereas if you're face-to-face networking with somebody, you can make a joke. You can drop an F-bomb if that's what you want to do, right? Because it's not as permanent, and chances are you're not being recorded. They can't screenshot your words in real life. So you can let your guard down a little bit, and because you do, you can let your true personality come through, and you can establish a more genuine relationship with somebody because you yourself are allowing your own personality to shine through, right? So that's the second piece of the puzzle that I wanted to talk about today. The second benefit of face-to-face networking is showcasing your genuine personality. Now the third one, and this goes along with the first two, is building human connection, right? There's a huge difference between somebody enjoying your status updates on Facebook. There's a huge difference between that and somebody enjoying being in the same room as you. There's a huge difference between that. Just because they like the quotes that you post on Instagram does not mean that you're going to enjoy sitting in the same room with them and chatting about whatever it is that you want to chat about, right? And so, in my opinion, to be able to be in the same room as somebody, to be able to shake their hand, to be able to give them a hug, to be able to talk to them, to be in their presence, that allows you to build a much stronger and more human connection, right? And so when you're online, you just don't have that ability to develop as strong of a connection as if you were in the same place as somebody and in the same room, face to face, right? Now, we do have things like Skype or video chat, and that helps to alleviate some of the lack of human connection, right? You can develop a somewhat human connection over video, but it is not the same, in my opinion, as being in the same room as somebody, as breathing the same air. So that's the third point, is just building a human connection. The fourth point that I want to talk about is picking up on body language. Now this is huge, okay? Because as you're in conversation with somebody, a lot of the times they won't always say what they're truly thinking in their minds. A lot of the times that won't happen. But what will happen is their body language will reflect how they're feeling or what they're thinking, whether or not they're happy with what you're saying, whether they're unhappy with what you're saying, whether they trust you, whether they're feeling open or whether they're more, holding back. And so being in a room with somebody and being able to look eye to eye to pick up on their body language, that again helps building that human connection. It helps to give you that immediate and honest feedback. And if you are showcasing your genuine personality and you're picking up on their body language and you're picking up on the things that they say, you might realize that y'all just might not be good friends. You're not going to get along with everybody. But if you are in the same room and you're able to pick up on that body language, that is a huge benefit to you because you're able to assess the situation a lot more accurately, right? And so you know where you stand a lot better when you can look at and interpret that body language. Okay, so those are the four benefits, the first four. And the fifth one, and this one's very important, especially when you're talking about relationships between people, is you are able to face-to-face handle misunderstandings immediately. You are able to handle misunderstandings immediately. Instead of having to send a 3-page Facebook message in text and the other person potentially getting your message confused, or maybe your signals are just going off the wrong direction and you just don't really know what each other's trying to say, there's a misunderstanding, and that can create a lack of trust and potentially conflict, right? That happens so many times online or somewhere where you're not face-to-face, that if you are face-to-face, right, and you do get to talk to this person one-on-one or one-to-many, right, if you're in a group, then you can handle those miscommunications and misunderstandings immediately because you recognize when they happen immediately. You recognize what you have said that triggered that misunderstanding, and you are giving yourself a lot better of a chance of recognizing that and being able to handle that, snip that conflict at the bud before it gets out of control, right? So again, do you prefer online or offline networking? I want to know, right? Because I think it is important in this day and age with so much access to technology and access to so many other individuals that we talk about these sorts of things. We talk about the differences, the real differences between online and offline networking, right? Because you can be texting somebody for months and not really know who they are. Or you can be in the same room with somebody for 24 hours or be in the same place with somebody for 2 or 3 days, and you can really start to get to know somebody. Or you could be video chatting with somebody for months, and you know they may be your best friend, but you've never actually been in a room with them, right? So you don't know how real that connection is until you get face to face. So, I challenge you to really start paying attention a little bit more to the differences between online and offline networking, because if you do and you start to understand a little bit better about those differences and the strengths and weaknesses of each one, then you can use that to improve your networking skills and to become a better networker yourself and to build a stronger community of people around you who can help you succeed and you can help them succeed, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm here for you, and I want to give value to you, and I want to provide you with useful, helpful, educational information to where you can take your game to the next level, whether that be networking, whether that be social media, whether that be building a community, whether that be just entrepreneurship in general, right? So I'm here for you, right? And I will do anything and everything that I can to make sure that I'm only speaking from my experiences. And I will always speak from my experiences, and I will not talk about things that I do not have experience in myself and that I have not done myself, right? So I spend a lot of time networking, and a lot of it is spent online, right? And I always try to convert, if you will, a contact, a relationship from an online relationship to an offline relationship, so that way I can build a lot stronger connection and I can take advantage of those 5 benefits that I talked about in this video today. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a fantastic day, and let's build a better world together. Bye-bye.